Greetings YouTube, LMS Tactical here. Warning, warning, strong language ahead. There's a good possibility of it. I never know what I'm going to say, so if you're offended by strong language, get off of my channel. You've been warned. Okay, so I'm doing one of my favorite things. I'm driving to Washington, D.C. and I can't stand it. First of all, anybody that goes to Washington, D.C. knows that the traffic is insane under the best conditions. I only go to Washington when I absolutely have to. And virtually every single time that I go there, it rains. All the way there and all the way back. And if you introduce a cup of water to the East Coast traffic, you quadruple your drive time. So I'm in a cranky mood. But I thought I'd use this time to talk to my South African brethren and sistren. Hello, South African familia. I don't speak Afrikaans, but yo habla poquito español. Porque ese pon tu mano sobre la cabeza. No se mueve, no se mueve. Yo huela tomo chocolate todo el día en la casa con leche, con azúcar. Okay, so I speak a little Spanish, but I don't speak Afrikaans. So you're gonna have to deal with English. All right, listen. I know my videos that are related to South Africa have been, how shall I put it, a bit extreme. And they haven't really been on the happiest of topics either. Because I think that the situation is a bit critical there. And so I would rather give somebody practical advice that might help them survive in times of trial and tribulation, as opposed to making them feel good. This is going to be a little different. I want to talk about your mental well-being and your emotional well-being while you go through these rough times, these tough times, these unfair times in South Africa. And for those of you that are not in South Africa, this applies to you too. We are certainly having our share of liberal political bullshit in this country. I'll do another video today that deals with my own country's nightmares and some shit that's happening in the news that needs to be addressed. The fuck is this, man? I got skin cancer. So, listen. It is extremely, and by the way, I have no credentials. I'm not Dr. Phil, not a psychologist, not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psych anything except an O. Get it? Psycho. Just kidding. But, listen. Like a lot of us, I study human nature. I am not somebody that has been in one place reading about life. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying I've been all over this fucking planet and I've met all kinds of people, and I don't come from some happy fucking exciting background where everybody fucking baked cookies and told me how awesome I was. That didn't happen. I've already made other videos about that. It's not about sympathy, it's about context. I'm not a fucking academic. I didn't even finish high school. I'm not proud of it. I'm just honest about it. So, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in your heads over there. It is extremely easy to fall into mental despair. And I apologize ahead of time. I can never remember, if I don't have my GPS telling me where to turn, especially while I'm making a video, I'll end up in fucking Canada. Okay, so you're going to hear the little irritating thing. What can I say? I got 2.6 miles before she starts talking to me. Very easy to fall into a level of depression. I mean, your country is in dire straits, to put it nicely. You've got fucked up leaders who are stealing and robbing you blind. You've got a black majority that looks down on you, white South Africans. You've got a government that manipulates you, black South Africans, to turn against the white South Africans. You know your situation better than I do. I don't have to lay it out for you. Is it possible that things are heating up to such a level where there's going to be major bloodshed? Yes. Is that possible anywhere on the planet? Yes. It's more likely in some areas than others. You know, I was a Los Angeles police officer when the '92 riots kicked off. A lot of people died. 70-something people died. I mean, none of us a month before that could have thought that was going to happen. And there's other examples. I mean, come on. 9/11, you know, how many, 3,000 people went to work and didn't realize they were going to fucking die horrendous deaths? So my point is, what was the name of that story when, there's a story, Damascus Sword or whatever, the Sword of Damascus, wherever the guy was that, remember the king that used to sleep with a sword hanging over his head, held up by a horsehair, so that he could be kind of like equal footing with his people. You know, the thing could break. He lived in luxury, but this hair could break any second, killing him. Whatever, I don't remember. Maybe I made it up. But we all live with a sword hanging over our head. Listen, I could hit the brakes.
Construction was reported on I-395.
What did you just call me? I could hit the brakes right now, and an 18-wheeler could slam into me, shoving my head right through my asshole. And this could be the end of my life right here. In a burning, fucking, stinking pile of melting metal. I mean, it's going to happen to somebody today because it's raining. Somebody's in this traffic that ain't coming home today. That's just the grim reality of life. And where am I going?
In 1 mile,
hang on.
Take exit 178
So here's the deal.
On the right, toward I-395 north.
Yeah. So the thing of it is, Jim Morrison, the rock star from the 70s, from The Doors, he said, "No one gets out alive." Profound, and very true. Every single day that we live could be our last day on the planet. And so we sit around sometimes, and I'm collectively speaking, we sit around and we worry ourselves sick about the pending end of the world, when in reality, the end of the world happens thousands of times a day for people in ways that they never anticipated. Okay? I'm getting ready to change lanes here, and if I don't pay attention, it's going to be the end of the world for somebody. I mean, this is fucked up. But really, so my point is, if we spend all of our time worrying about, let me over, I'll end your world. If we spend all of our time worrying about the end of the world, in between the moment now and the end of our world, we've wasted all that time that we could have been.
Be in the second lane from the right.
Motherfucker, I just moved to the first lane. What the hell? Why didn't you say something earlier? Hang on a second. I don't even know why I hired that bitch. She's always fucking with me. Think of all of the times in history. Where the fuck am I going? Think of all the times in history when life has been completely fucked up for the citizens of whatever country we're talking about. I'm going to tell you a story I told a friend of mine that's in South Africa. I told this just the other day. This is true. So many of you know that subscribe to me. My father's side of the family is Jewish, and the majority of them got killed in the Holocaust. And the only reason I'm here is because some of them had the foresight to get the fuck out before they rounded them up. Not many. So where the hell am I going? Oh shit! Am I in the right lane? Whatever. I don't care. Fuck it, I'm going to Canada. So one of my great-great-grandparents left Europe, got on a fucking ship, and I have all the names and everything on the ship and all that stuff at home. When she was 12 years old, family was pissed off. You know, what are you doing, you nutcase? If it wasn't, think about that. She gets on a ship in those days, crosses the fucking Atlantic Ocean, coming to this fucking country she knows nothing about and doesn't speak the language.
In 2.25 miles, take the exit on the right.
And she fucking came across the ocean, and because of her guts and because of what she gave up, because her father owned a lot of land over there, and that's where the fuck am I? I don't know where I'm at. I think we're talking about, that was in Ukraine area. So she gives all that up, comes here with nothing. And if it wasn't for that 12-year-old little girl with balls the size of this truck, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. So that girl's decision to leave her family and leave her country and to get on that ship and to cross the ocean into the vast unknown of a future that was totally uncertain is in many ways affecting your life, because you're sitting here right now listening to some dude in Virginia. I mean, you get the picture. I mean, it's really weird. It's like the old thing about the butterfly effect, or one grain of sand on the beach changes the entire world. I mean, think about it. It affects everything. Now, I could go on all day, so let me bring this thing to an end. During the Revolutionary War in this country, in America, George Washington, outnumbered, outgunned, out-equipped. I think it was Christmas Eve, freezing cold, troops with freaking frostbite and sick as dogs, fever, rallied his men against some of his officers' advice and boarded a bunch of shitty little rowboats and stuff that they had managed to collect and crossed the Delaware in the middle of the fucking night, freezing, and defeated the fucking British. And that's the other reason I'm still sitting here talking to you. Think about it. That's not some story in a book. Those were real people with real diarrhea and real fucking fever chills and real weakness and real hunger. In World War II, people got drug out of their homes and fucking shoved in concentration camps until they weighed about 5 pounds and then were slaughtered and tortured and everything else. Yet the Jews still prevail. Still alive. This is your time. Look, when I was a kid here in America, all of us thought we were going to get wiped out by a Russian nuclear bomb. I mean, that's just what we thought. We just, as little kids, we just assumed that someday there was going to be a bright flash in the sky and our fucking skeletons were just going to fucking vaporize right there on the sidewalk. Here I am. Now, in this country, a lot of us think the liberals are going to destroy our country and the communists are going to take over. That's what I think. We'll lose our freedom of speech. We'll lose our Second Amendment right to carry, to have arms, weapons. And, you know, unless there's a drastic change, that's what's going to happen. That's what I think. But the point is, you have to keep your fucking sense of life. You have to keep your sense of humor above all. Laugh every fucking day. If you find yourself in a concentration camp and you're fucking naked and skinny and getting a day away from going to the gas chambers, laugh at the guy next to you because he looks funny with his fucking ribs showing. I'm not kidding. You gotta laugh. Laughter is important. If you need help, I'll send you a picture of myself naked. You've got to laugh. Every fucking day, you laugh out loud. It helps. It releases endorphins. It helps you, puts you in perspective. There's never a situation that's so fucking dire that you need to stop living. My message to you is I don't want you to fucking sit there and think that your life is over, your country is destroyed, the fucking zombies are gonna come and eat you alive. It may happen tomorrow, but god damn it, you fucking have fun today. That doesn't mean be stupid about it and don't prepare, don't have a plan, don't try to fucking take precautions so that your life is better or preserved. Look both ways before you cross the street, wear your fucking seatbelt, but don't give up internally. Don't look at your kids and think you failed them because you were born in South Africa and that they're not gonna have a future. They will have a fucking future. Unless a meteor fucking hits them today, or unless 6 fucking crazed black Africans come in swinging machetes. But then you got other fucking plans for that, don't you? Now, in my last video, I talked about fucking get your guns out of the safe, have a plan, blah, blah, blah. And I get some people who mean very well saying, well, Michael, if we do shoot them, we stand to go to prison for a minimum of 10 years if our weapons are not locked and secured. Look, like I said to them in the comments, remember the part where I said dig a hole in the back? If you kill these cocksuckers, don't tell anybody. You drag them out of your fucking house, throw them in a hole, piss on them, and bury them, and wait for the next guys to come. Reload. If somebody knocks on the door and says, "Shuliginzi, bitte, have you happened to notice 4 Aborigines running around with blood-stained machetes?" You say no, and nobody's been here. I love you, and or close the door. In other words, these are the times that try men's souls. We've been here before. We'll be here again. People still get married. People still fall in love. People still have good sex. People still tickle their kids. People still laugh. Make sure you do that. Grow your flowers. Have fun. Don't be fucking ignorant, but do not be a slave to the possibility of dying. You're going to die. All right? Now that you know you're going to die, let's get busy living. Okay? And if you can only live for another 24 hours, live the fuck out of it. You know what I mean? All right, that's about it, I guess. Keep your heads up, keep your fucking chins up, stay positive, and whatever you do, if you have kids, don't let them fucking feel the depression and the stress, because you're robbing them. You're robbing them of their fucking childhood. Don't do that. Create memories. These are the memories that are going to last when you're old and you look back on your memory. Look, I'm getting older and I realize how important memories are. That's what we live for, is to create good memories. You don't want to sit back and think about how you wasted 10 years worrying about the end. Create happy memories. Create one memory every fucking day that you guys can look back on and go, remember that time Dad walked out of the house on his hands, fucking naked, fucking playing a trumpet with his ass? Create memories. All right, you guys, stay safe. LMS Tactical, I'm out. Wish me luck on this fucking wet road.